Good evening. Welcome to Channel 8 Sports and East Brunswick High School football. Hi, I'm John Meggiolaro, being joined by Jim Allinder and Phil Hill for the 1993 home opener for the Bears. And they take on Edison tonight, gentlemen. And Jimmy, let's start with East Brunswick, coming off a rather, somber 20-0 loss to Piscataway last week.
That describes it, a somber 20-0 loss. Probably the fears that Marcus Borden had about his team were realized in that game. He expressed a trepidation about his team's ability to generate offense, and one of the reasons for that is because there's a new quarterback running the show. His name is Greg Kohlheim, and Marcus had said during the preseason that it was going to be an obstacle just to get Greg to become more comfortable with the offense.
Sure. Okay,
and that was realized in that game. Defensively, East Brunswick is going to find itself at a disadvantage as far as size is concerned against most teams, most notably tonight against Edison. So it is going to be a problem there, and that was borne out by the fact that they gave up 20 points. But I will say that they played a rather spirited game against Piscataway. This team does not have a lot of numbers. It does not have a lot of size, as I have mentioned. Certainly not the number of marquee players that the opponents in the Red Division have. And quite frankly, their record was 5-4 last year, and it may be difficult to reach that this season.
Yeah. Phil, we look at Edison. This is their first game of the 93 season. Some are picking Edison to rival Madison Township for the #1 spot.
A lot are picking Edison to take it all, and why not? They have a premier player in Rashid Simmons, listed as 6'6", 255 pounds, and he's an All-American, preseason All-American, parade top 25, and it's just a real blue chipper. Around him, they have an all-area quarterback in Mark Pappas, and then they have a 6'2", 220-pound running back in Andrew Owner. A lot of people coming back from last year when they were 5-2-2. And Mike Wojcik, the affable coach of Edison, talks about he doesn't want to really talk about this team too much until they get out there and play. But easily they could rival that team of 1991 when they were Group 4 champs.
Well, it should be interesting tonight. East Brunswick takes on Edison, their home opener, 1993 season, and the start of our 10th season broadcasting East Brunswick High School football. So stay with us for the action. We'll be back in a moment. And we welcome you to the opening kickoff, tonight's East Brunswick Edison home opener for the Bears. Bears come in 0-1, having lost last week to Piscataway 20-0. First game of the season for Edison. And we talked about the size differential, and you can certainly see that right here on the kickoff.
Well, it looks even that much more. Edison being in the white uniforms. Well, when you're in the light uniforms, it always appears somewhat larger.
Boy, you like to get off with a good start. You know, gentlemen, I'm trying to remember the last time East Brunswick opened up with a win. It's got to be, I can't remember the last 10 years that they opened up their season with a win, and certainly it didn't happen this year.
East Brunswick will kick off. They're in the home green. Edison in the all-white. Ball fielded at their own 20. Down the sideline.
Wow.
This guy is gone. We didn't even get a number on him yet.
It's 23, I believe.
23 for Edison. That's Don Rad. He goes 80 yards for the score.
He had that whole side to himself. It was lane coverage. Each East Brunswick player going down on his own side.
And I tell you, what can you say? We talked about the potential of this Edison team, how explosive they are, and they come out of the blocks. Ian Silverman kicking off for East Brunswick, the first time he's ever been in a football uniform, recruited from the soccer team. He had to wait a required six days before he could come over and kick off for the Bears. And that's a rude awakening that he has to the game of football.
80-yard touchdown run, 11:48 on the clock. We now know that Rad runs a 12-second 80-yard dash.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, it's just a tough beginning for the Bears. You don't want to let Edison get out of the blocks like that. And Marcus has talked about special teams. He's talked about the fact that he wanted this year to make his special teams special again. They were shut out last year and roughed up a little bit defensively, and right away Edison comes and takes it 80 yards.
Edison on for the extra point. Good snap. Ball, kicker slips, but it gets through the uprights, and they're on top 7-0.
Just
Okay.
like that.
12 seconds, and the Eagles are on the board.
So East Brunswick will have its opportunity, first opportunity, to see if it can move the football. We mentioned that Greg Kohlheim is going to be the quarterback. Something I wanted to say, gentlemen, I did an article in the Sentinel regarding the preview of the year, and I mentioned that Kohlheim is the starting quarterback, and that happened because of the academic ineligibility of David Habib. And the way the wording went on the article, I owe David an apology because I said it was a blessing in disguise. And what I meant to say was that it was a blessing for Greg Kohlheim because he has an opportunity to get experience, and in no way did I want to slight young David Habib. So my apologies go out for that.
Who we understand is just a super young fellow and just an unfortunate situation, and I think we'll let it go at that.
All right, Kaiser will be kicking it off for Edison. East Brunswick has 3 men back deep. Short kick. Fielded at the 20-yard line.
That's Kohlheim.
And that is Greg Kohlheim
Number 14, you're right, Jim.
taking it down. And don't be surprised. Greg Kohlheim will be on everything. Kickoff return, punt return. He'll be out on the field most of the time. Offensively and defensively, probably is their most valuable player. And you can't blame Marcus with so few weapons for having him out there. Ordinarily, you don't want to put your quarterback out there, but the Bears have to.
It's 1st and 10 for East Brunswick on their own 38. First period action, Edison on top 7-0 as East Brunswick gets ready for their first offensive series of the night.
Watch for number 44. He's just a sophomore running back, Frank Sermonello.
Kohlheim rolls to his right, looks for his man and overthrows. He was looking for Jay Tangway.
And I tell you, that's what you're going to see Kohlheim doing a lot, rolling out. He's not a drop-back type passer. As a matter of fact, in a really tough situation, as we pointed out, not expected to be a passer, and you can't develop a passer in the short time he's had to. He's been put in that position.
2nd and 10 for East Brunswick. They come out in the wishbone or E-bone formation. Kohlheim on an inside carry, and that is Shanapi.
And a good sign, the Bears picking up good yardage there. If the bone is going to work at all, they got to get something going up that middle there. A good read by Greg Kohlheim there. Apparently he saw the tackle move, gave the ball to his running back.
It'll bring up a 3rd and about 5. Ball placed at the East Brunswick 44-yard line.
Phil, I'm watching Simmons. Naturally, your attention is drawn to him by his size. He's
Right.
playing almost as a stand-up linebacker on the outside there.
Well, they're going to do a number of things with him, and we'll talk about that later, Jim.
Kohlheim calling signals. Keeps to his left, pitches the
Wow.
ball, and it goes out of bounds.
That was dangerous. Shanafi never put his hands on it.
Well, Shanafi wasn't looking for it, and everything was sealed down, and Greg just pitched it. He probably should have just kept it there. Very dangerous. But to talk about Simmons, Mike Wojcik says he's going to flip-flop him. He hasn't done that any time last year. This year he plans on putting him into whatever side he chooses to and let him play like a linebacker.
Well, as far as Kohlheim, you see his inexperience right there. Probably would have been better just to hold on to the ball.
Meggiolaro, the punter, gets it off.
That's Rad again.
Failed
John.
by Rad at his own 25, still on his feet,
Wow.
and finally brought down at the 35-yard line.
He's a dangerous runner.
He's a dangerous runner, and Dan Lorenzo coming back to make the tackle, a short tackle.
So Edison will have their first offensive series. They lead 7-0, 10:20 to go here in the first period. The ball is spotted at their own 34-yard line.
And you're going to see the Bears, Marcus Borden talks about that. They have to attack. They know they're smaller. They can't sit back and wait on.
Pappas handoff.
And we got a flag there. It's probably holding the way it's thrown in there.
Onder was the ball carrier.
Andrew Onder.
Face mask against East Brunswick,
Wow.
excuse me.
Wow.
And that'll move the ball close to East Brunswick territory.
Well, there will not be any discussion here. They're just going to take the ball 15 yards down the pike.
They'll take it. Unfortunately, they got called for the face mask, but I was saying, Marcus was saying, we have to attack. We're small. We're hoping to be quicker than they are. We cannot sit back and wait for them to use their muscle on us. We have to go at them and disrupt their flow.
Well, with the penalty, Edison moves into East Brunswick territory. The ball spotted at the Bears' 49-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10. And Edison comes out in a wishbone-looking offensive scheme. Pappas to Allinder again.
Phil, I'm sure Edison would be quite content to just pound the ball.
And I think you're going to see some of that. They know they're bigger. They know they're stronger. They're going to just try to march it down the field. They may do that for a little while to bring the Bears in and then hit something to the outside. But they're physically stronger. Mike Wojcik knows it, and he's not going to look to make any mistakes.
2nd and 7 for Edison. Ball at the East Brunswick 46. Another flag is down as McCutcheon carries it close to the East Brunswick 45-yard line.
I'm going to venture that the quarterback, Pappas, is lunging a little bit before he actually receives the ball.
Not only that, you watch him, and he does a strange thing. He takes a step forward, Jim.
Yeah.
And he's going to get called for that. Yeah. He takes a step forward. Harry Morris told me that they're going to try to catch him. When he takes that step forward, they're going to try to grab that leg.
Well, it is a procedure penalty against Edison, and the options are being reviewed with the East Brunswick captain.
It's definitely a motion penalty, and it's got to be Pappas, the quarterback.
Watch him when he takes that. It's a bad habit that he has. He takes that first step forward there. And some officials may let you get away with it, and some won't.
Ball moved back to Edison territory, their own 49. It'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Pappas now with 3 receivers to the right, and a quick pitch outside.
Great block there. Simmons just laid out he just pancaked him.
Vinatelli on the carry gets to the East Brunswick 40 and close to a 1st down.
And Jason Jacobs coming up to make the tackle. And if anyone had a good game against Piscataway, it's Jason Jacobs. Had 8 solo tackles. And Marcus talked about the fact that this young guy who didn't play ball at all last year came out this year and had a whale of a game against Piscataway. So let's keep our eye on him.
3rd in the nose of the football for the Eagles. Pappas hands off to Allinder. He's got it.
Barely.
It'll be close, depending on where they spot it.
Pappas is doing the same thing as he did before.
1st down, Edison.
And they picked up the 1st down, but the Bears, I tell you, they are being scrappy right now.
See, now, if you look at Marcus Borden talking to the official, I think he's complaining about Pappas's
foot.
Yeah.
That movement of the foot, watch it.
If we can close in on that quarterback, number 21, I think you'll understand what we're talking about. I think they are going to do a measure here, are they not?
I don't think they're sure what they're doing. No, they're moving the chains now.
Yeah,
1st down.
Took some liberties on that, making that a 1st down.
We have 8:13 left first period. Bears trailing 7-0. Edison on the march. They have it 1st and 10 on the East Brunswick 40-yard line.
There he goes again.
Flag is thrown. Pappas drops down with the ball.
Now they caught him again, Phil.
And a fumble, and they're saying it's East Brunswick's ball.
Let's see who recovered that.
I think 69 got. He came off the pile. Yep, 69.
Jamil Hamden.
Okay, I'm sorry. Number 25?
52, I believe.
52. That would be Sean Daly. Okay.
And Sean's been playing some good ball himself. They're going to expecting a lot of him. Wrestler, I believe, that's come out to play football.
Big turnover for East Brunswick. They have it on their own 40, 1st and 10. Colheim looks over the defense. Fakes the handoff, rolls to his right. He's got a man open.
Oh!
And almost a tremendous catch there.
I'll tell you.
By Tangway.
I'll tell you, it would have been a tremendous catch there. Colheim once again rolling away from the pressure there.
He's got to do it. That's what he has to do. And I'd like to see him keep that ball sometimes, Phil.
Oh, he can
turn
run,
it upfield.
He can run, no doubt about it. And Marcus is very high on Colheim. He thinks he's a great kid and a great athlete. He's just put in a very difficult situation, trying to run the wishbone and trying to learn everything he can. Marcus says he's kept it very basic.
2nd and 10 for the Bears. They go to the single back offense. 3 receivers to the right. Kohlheim rolls that way. He's looking. He's going to run with it. Steps up, and he'll pick up about 3 yards before he's tackled at the 43-yard line.
I thought he might have a few more.
Well, it looked like he was trying to get his footing there, and I thought he might make a crossover step and take it down some too, Jim. But
Edison's very quick. Even with their big size, they have some players with real quick feet.
It'll be 3rd and about 6.5. Clock running down in this first quarter. Eagles are on top, 7-0. Home opener tonight for East Brunswick at J. Doyle Stadium. Kohlheim now gives inside.
Sermonello.
It's number 44.
It's going to be close.
And it is Sermonello. We'll see where they spot it. He appears short, Jim, with 4th and about a foot.
I can easily see East Brunswick going for this.
I'll tell you, Sermonello doing some good hard running there, a 5'8" sophomore, and to be here on the varsity level starting says something about the kid's heart.
And East Brunswick's going to take a timeout, talk this over.
Well, it appears as though they need to get just short of the 50-yard line to nail down that first down. They don't have any. They only had 5 first downs against Piscataway last week. Certainly, offense was a problem for the Bears.
Right, and the fact that Marcus has called timeout, he's certainly not calling timeout to say be careful with the punt. They apparently are going for it, and why not? I think they're going to have few opportunities against this larger Edison team, and the best way to keep Edison from scoring is to keep the ball out of their hands. You can't keep giving it up too soon, and so they're going to take a chance to pick up this first down.
Presents a major problem because from what I've seen so far, it looks like as much as Edison is going to be a really good offensive team, looks like the defense is going to be what's going to be dominating for them this year. They use 3 down linemen. Simmons seems to be able to roam anywhere he wants to, sort of like Lawrence Taylor.
Right.
And they play linebackers heavy to one side, depending on where the shift is for East Brunswick. Here we go.
Here we go, 4th and about a foot. E-bone formation.
He got it.
Sermonello gets through. First down.
There's a nice surge by the East Brunswick offensive line.
I'll tell you, we've been talking about size and all that, but when you get down to heart, the Bears showing a lot of heart here. Whether they're able to sustain this over the long haul is another story, but right now they're being really aggressive.
I thought the surge came from the left side of the line. Molina was one of the ones in there, as was Jeremy Fisher, number 72.
First down from the Edison 48. Kohlheim inside.
Wow.
And good running there by Mark Sabatino.
Broke 1 tackle.
And guys, you got to be happy with the way East Brunswick's come back. I mean, 12 seconds into the game, they're down 7-0. And here they're fighting their way into Edison territory and doing it quite well.
Well, they were able to hold off the tie with that Edison fumble there by Pappas, and now they've taken the ball, gotten 1 first down, and closing in on another.
2nd and about 4. The ball on the Edison 44-yard line. Kohlheim, quick pitch. Shanafe trying to turn a corner, gets back to the line of scrimmage.
So there you see that Edison speed. They closed that off. I thought Shanafe was going to get a couple of yards on that.
I'll tell you, William Foster, number 90, 6'1", 230 pounds, a defensive end. He had been hurt much of the preseason, and just now Mike Wojcik said he's going to let him play today. But he has a tender ankle, but he showed some good quickness right there.
Phil, I think you agree. These are the kind of situations East Brunswick wants to avoid, the 3rd and long.
Absolutely. And as I say, they're just not that sharp in the passing game because they haven't had a lot of time to develop it.
Well, Kohlheim has some room on this near side of the field.
3rd and 5. Kohlheim keeps, rolls to his left, being chased. He's got some room on the left side. Crosses the 40, knocked out of bounds at the 35, but short of the first down.
No, he's got it.
He's got it?
Yeah.
And I tell you, that's the athletic ability of Greg Kohlheim, and that's the reason he's at quarterback. He can make a lot of things happen. He's the best athlete on the field there, and that's what Marcus has chosen to do, and it paid off right there.
Phil, do you think that Kohlheim is durable enough to be able, because certainly he's going to utilize his running ability on the option. He's going to take a lot of hits this year, just like we saw right there.
I think he's durable. You got to remember, he was an all-area defensive back last year, all-red division defensive back, and you got to be physical in order to to be that, so I think he can take it.
1st and 10 from the Edison 36. Kohlheim has 3 receivers to the right. He's going to throw it outside. Flag is thrown. That ball, someone better pick it up. That may be a lateral.
Well, they have a flag, and
we haven't seen any. All right, I guess they're going to whistle the play dead. I think the right end for East Brunswick jumped off.
Well, that ball was intended for, let's get this straight to begin with, guys. Tim Agabitosho. Does that sound good?
Aji Batosho.
Okay, Aji Batosho.
And
who we should see some good things from this year.
He's a young man with a lot of speed.
6'3", 165.
As you saw right there, needs to develop the hands, that's all.
So they're going to call what here? A motion or offside?
I think it's offsides against East Brunswick.
They're talking to the Eagles.
Well, they may just refuse this. Yeah, Wojcik is waving his hands. It's a good move.
Procedure against East Brunswick. Declined by Edison. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
It's a good move, I think, because East Brunswick, as we know, has difficulty moving the ball, so anytime they lose it down, that's to Edison's advantage.
Kohlheim will start it up one more time. They have a little counter going. Shanafi, he's got the outside. And good defense by Edison. Stops him short of the 30-yard line.
Well, he did pick up 5-6 yards on that.
And Shanafi, not a big fellow himself, showing a little toughness, shedding the first tackler, would-be tackler.
A couple of those East Brunswick backs, Phil, have been breaking tackles. Not going down on the first hit.
Pick up of about 5 yards. We'll call it 3rd and 5 for East Brunswick. The ball resting on the Edison 31.
And this is definitely a controlled drive.
East Brunswick shifting now. They'll put Sabatino in the slot on the right. 2 receivers to the right. Sabatino comes back in motion. Kohlheim drops the ball.
Did he have a handle on that? I guess he did.
And he fell on it, so it'll bring up 4th down for East Brunswick.
And I tell you, if you're the Bears, you just got to hold your breath. Against Piscataway last week, they had 6 turnovers, losing 3 of them, and that can hurt any team. Marcus doesn't want to see them create any turnovers.
Well, the Bears will go for it. 4th and 5. Well, let's call it about 4th and 7 now. 2-yard loss on that play.
And they got to be going for Mike Matthews here, I would think.
Sabatino in motion. Kohlheim fakes to him, looks for the short man, and looking for Sermonello.
Ball was underthrown.
Underthrown.
Yeah.
There's no other way to describe it.
What we call it is short arming it, actually.
Yeah.
He thought he wanted to go there, then he wasn't sure, and start to bring it back, and it went anyway.
Well, you had Tangway breaking down the right side there, and maybe if he had long balled it, that might have been an opportunity there. But that, they're going to look at that on the films, and Kohlheim is going to put that in the back of his mind.
I see Kohlheim limping off. The question then is raised, who is his backup? Anyway, Edison will have it. 1st and 10 on their own 34. Pappas quickly to Vinatelli. He turns the corner, showing some speed, and is knocked out of bounds at around the 45-yard line.
And the young sophomore, Rich Whalen, came up like gangbusters, but missed the tackle. He's making a beeline over there. I thought he was going to nail him. He'll learn to put his nose in there and just bring the player down.
And Vinatello gets a first down.
They're calling it a first down, and so Edison, with 2:54 left first quarter, and in the lead 7-0, picks up a first down. Ball spotted at the East Brunswick 45. Single setback.
There's movement
Flag
on that line.
Vinatelli one more time, gets to the outside. And another first down as he's tackled at the East Brunswick 34-yard line.
And I think that'll come back. Onders, number 43, laid a block on
saw that.
someone. You just saw a body fly out of there.
It's more like a push block, but did the job.
It is against Edison.
Well, certainly East Brunswick will take this.
Oh, they have to. illegal shift or motion against Edison.
And this is the Eagles' first game. You know, you can do a lot of things in scrimmage, but there's nothing
And East
like
Brunswick's
a game.
called their second timeout of this quarter.
That's right. I wonder what that's all about. You mentioned that Kohlheim was limping off the field. He's back in. They need his value as a defensive player.
Well, if he's hurt a little bit, you just don't want it to tighten up. You got to move around. So that's one of the reasons he's probably back in there rather than just standing on the sidelines.
Well, when play resumes, Edison will have it 1st and 15 on their own 40. The fine run by Venatelli was brought back on the penalty.
Right. You were asking about backup quarterbacks. I believe David Kilkenny has been designated as one of the backup quarterbacks. There is a drop-off, though. Certainly in the terms of experience that East Brunswick has.
How young is this East Brunswick team? We've talked about it.
This team is the youngest team Marcus Borden has ever had. He has 9 returning lettermen, and he has 3 on each side of the ball. So 3 seniors on each side of the ball. So it tells you how a very young team.
All right, Venatelli, sole running back behind Pappas, 1st and 15. Pappas rolls to his left gun throw. He's going to be dropped. And the ball is dropped as well.
They got to call that a fumble? Guess not. Still a good sack.
And Sean Daly just blow it in there, nearly costing the turnover.
Well, we've called his number twice so far.
And Sean Daly, you know, as I said, he's a wrestler, and aggressiveness is his game, and he's shown it out on the football field.
Very long first quarter here at J. Doyle Stadium. We still have 2 minutes remaining. Eagles are on top, 7-0.
Another important player for East Brunswick defensively is number 50, Paul Dumas. He was also one of the leading tacklers against Piscataway.
Edison puts 4 receivers to the left, and now they're going to take a timeout. They're a little confused.
Right.
So it gives us a chance to look at some of the players on East Brunswick's defense. Molina, number 70, Ken Molina, is out there as a regular. 58, Tom Ruja, who also plays offensively, is on that line. We mentioned Sean Daly, of course. In the backfield, Jacobs, Phil, you listed him as the top tackler in last week's game against Piscataway. Jason Jacobs.
Right.
Okay, Kohlheim, of course, is back there. Defensive backfield. So there's some decent speed in the secondary for the Bears. Of course, they haven't been tested tonight. Edison has not thrown the ball once.
Nope. We have 1:50 remaining in the first quarter. Edison on top, 7-0. Timeout here was called by Edison. And they still look somewhat confused. Well, they'll try it again. It's 2nd and 23 from their own 32-yard line.
And we have, what, a shotgun here, more or less?
Shotgun, 3 receivers to the left. Pappas looks, fires, caught, and that's Rod on the reception.
That was good for 7 yards.
It'll bring up a 3rd down.
And I think East Brunswick, under the circumstances, was quite willing to allow that.
Well, Pappas showed that, put that right on the money there. And they're spreading them very wide, John.
Well, they're facing a 3rd and 13. And Pappas looking deep. He's got plenty of time. He's got a man down the sideline.
Wow.
Rad.
And it's Rad once again.
He was there.
I'll tell you, you just don't want that offensive player to get behind you like that.
Inside the 25-yard line. 1st down for Edison.
You think they would be wary of that pass. There was nothing fancy about Rad going down the line. He was just waiting for the pass.
That's right.
And he was behind the defender.
In fact, if it were a little bit in front of the receiver, that could have been 6 points.
And I tell you, the Eagles showing you they're not one-dimensional. They can pass the ball as well.
So they come out in that shotgun formation, wishbone rather, and Rad right up the middle.
I believe that's number 30.
I'm sorry, it's
Onders.
McCutcheon. Nope. Pershner. There we go. We got him. Brian Pershner.
It might be his first carry of the night.
Yeah.
And Got himself a first down.
So Edison quickly marching.
No, it's not a first down. It's a yard short.
Second and about 1. The ball sitting at the East Brunswick 15-yard line. Edison on top, 7-0. Pappas.
He moved again.
And again, it's Perchner. He's got the first down as he is tackled around the 10-yard line.
And I tell you, Mike Wojcik, if he's going to play the bigger time ball, is definitely going to have to just to work with Pappas. He's going to have to work with that young man. He continually does that, and it's going to hurt him down the road.
And we'll see how this washes out, but Edison only needed about 1 yard for its first down, and this forces them back now. Makes it a little bit more difficult.
Well, it'll bring up a second down, and second and about, let's say, 6 yards to go. The ball spotted now.
They're going to let the clock run out.
Yeah,
John.
there's 7 seconds to go. Ball is spotted on the East Brunswick 21-yard line. And that'll about do it here. First period, first quarter over. J. Doyle Stadium, the Bears trailing 7-0, but Edison is knocking.
Still, though, I think you have to feel a little good for the Bears because they were able to deny Edison a touchdown offensively from their offense.
From the line of scrimmage, you're right.
Exactly. They did take the opening kickoff. That was Rad running the ball 80 yards for a touchdown.
And if you look out on the field there, you see Mike Wojcik talking to the officials, and the officials are telling him exactly what Pappas is doing wrong. And Wojcik is sort of like, I don't understand it, but
he understands it.
He does.
There's probably a little coaching on his part to sort of gain some sympathy for Pappas from the officials, but it will not work. It's too exaggerated. It could actually, draw an East Brunswick player offline. They haven't bit thus far, but still in all, it gives them an added advantage which they don't need.
Well, as we said, East Brunswick lost their season opener last week, 20-0 to Piscataway. Taking on Edison this week. This is Edison's first game of the season. And again, the red division of the GMC looks pretty tough, Phil.
Power pack once more. Madison Central beat upon Perth Amboy the other night. They're strong again. Woodbridge, who we know has probably the best tandem of running backs in the county, they're going to be tough. This Edison team here, and once again, Stevens, will have something.
You think they will?
I think Stevens will. They have a new coach, but Stevens has a way of coming up with something most years. Sal Mastretta over at Cerebral, Kilkenny and Clary are gone, but you can bet he'll come up with something as well.
All right, we're ready to go start this second quarter. Bears trailing 7-0, but Edison has the ball at the East Brunswick 20. And another flag. And Perchner had nothing but daylight in front of him.
Well, as long as we're talking about opponents in the red division.
Offside against East Brunswick.
And no, it's against Edison.
Edison.
And Mike Wojcik is out on the field, and he's beside himself. He just can't believe his team's being called for that many penalties.
It'll make it 2nd and 11 now from the East Brunswick 26. Jim, you were saying about the GMC red.
Well, we'll pick this up in a little bit because it's going to be some discussion about Saraville and Madison, the teams that I cover.
Pappas drops the ball.
A little self-destruction by Edison here.
And let's see if he recovered. He did. So it brings up a 3rd down.
And I tell you, if you're the Edison coach, you can't be very pleased with what's been happening. They've looked rather sloppy here.
And as well as they should. This is the opening game for them. I mean, if there's a team that Edison could work out the wrinkles, it's East Brunswick, which admittedly is supposed to have, its difficulties this year.
Well, you said that, Jim.
Okay. I'll stand by it.
All right,
We'd like to see the Bears win, believe me.
Shotgun for Pappas. He's got receivers to both sides as he looks to his right, fires it over the middle, and a tough hit there, but Larondo makes the catch.
Right. Well, we've noted that Pappas does not throw a lot, but when he does, he's been accurate.
I tell you, he threw it on certainly where the defenders could not get it. It was down and low.
All right, here's a 4th down situation.
Yeah, they're short of the first down. It'll bring up 4th and about 3. The ball at the East Brunswick 17-yard line.
And Edison thus far does not have a call. They have not made the call yet.
And
Could be a timeout coming up.
And that's what it's going to be, Jim. So they take their second timeout of the half.
And Edison runs that power wishbone somewhat, but they're, unlike Madison Central, would be no question what Madison Central would do in this situation. They would continue to run the wishbone. Edison, I wouldn't be surprised if they come with go back to the passing game right here.
Yeah. We were talking about other teams in the red division of the GMC. Saraville is one team that I know fairly well. Phil is right in that they are losing Harry Nickelney, lost Harry Nickelney, who's at Princeton, and DJ Cleary, their all-state, first-string all-state receiver, accepted a scholarship at the University of Connecticut. But they have huge numbers of players out for the team this year, as well as good size. As a matter of fact, I would say next to Edison, they probably have the next best size in the red division. Woodbridge probably comes in about third, Phil. But they also have good quickness, very, very good quickness. Carlisle King is a real good running back to watch. Joey Cavallaro and Craig Nallett are two wide receivers, so they're going to do well. I would think. I think that they certainly should be in the running.
All right, Edison with a 4th and 3 from the East Brunswick 17 comes out in a wishbone formation. Handoff, and they've got the first down.
Boy, I'll tell you what, that was close. I believe it was.
Carry was by Allinder.
Allinder and Whalen riding his back, and he carried Whalen for a couple yards and picked up that all-important first down.
Well, Dumas almost had Pappas in the backfield. He was just able to get that handoff off.
So it's first down for Edison. They could get it first without scoring. Ball on the 12-yard line of East Brunswick. 10:24 remaining in the half. Anders rolls over the pile, picks up a couple. Gonna bring up second and about 8.
And Sean Daly making the first hit before his teammates came over to stop the runner.
Quick pitch. Pershner gets down to about the 10-yard line. I'm sorry, near the 5. Bring up a third down, 3rd and about 3. Ball will be spotted at the East Brunswick 6-yard line.
And Captain Tom Ruja holding on for dear life there.
All right, Edison needing to get to the 2-yard line for a first down.
Full backfield.
He moved.
Another flag is thrown as Pershner dives for the first down.
It was Pappas again. They will call legal motion.
You see Pappas hit his head. He's like, I can't believe it. He's got to be very frustrated.
It is a procedure against Edison. That'll move him back.
And that was could be a costly penalty as well.
I bet you after this game, though, you can bet next week they're going to work well with him if they have to put a weight on that foot or something.
Phil, I question why this wasn't worked out in preseason. They've had 3 scrimmages, and certainly if he was doing this, they would have caught it then.
One would think so.
Well, it'll be 3rd and 8 now for Edison. The ball on the East Brunswick 10-yard line. Edison on top 7-0, but their defense is hanging in tough, and penalties are killing Edison. Pershner going around the left end. He's going to take it in.
Well, I don't think East Brunswick was quite expecting that, but they
touchdown Edison.
Field.
I'm sorry, it was actually Venatelli with the score, number 17.
Right, Ian Venatelli. Another one of those running backs, and they have a bevy of them.
So that was an 8-yard run.
Edison on top 13-0 as they try to add the extra point. And they will now slide over and
you wonder why they go through all that to kick an extra point.
Kick is up, and it is good.
Strong.
Kaiser with the extra point makes it 14-0. Edison on top.
And just a strong effort by the Eagles there, driving the ball down the field.
They were relentless.
Well, you have to wonder. Like I said, when you realize that two of their backs, Allinder's 220 pounds, weighs as much as any of the East Brunswick linemen, you see the formidable job that the Bears have, and what the Eagles are doing are playing power football right now.
And that's the way they're going to be able to do it pretty much for the entire year against most of the GMC Red Division. They definitely have their sights set on qualifying for the state playoffs. They were just nudged out last year by Saraville. Madison Central finished with a 7-2 record last year, and they look to have the horses. They came through with, I believe it was a 31-14 or 31-7 victory over Perth Amboy in their opening game of the season last week. And we're going to see just how good Madison is because they play Woodbridge Saturday night.
All right, East Brunswick will send Shanape and Colheim back deep to Wake Kaiser's kickoff.
Should add this will be the last year that Madison Central plays. Cedar Ridge and Madison Central will be combining.
Ooh, Old Bridge High School?
Correct.
Oh,
watch out.
They should be easily one of the top.
I believe they're going to be called the Raiders. Purple and gold colors.
Really? And here we go. This will be Shanape from about the 7-yard line. He's going to take it straight up the field. Now cuts the outside and gets across the 25 to about the 26-yard line.
And some good running by Shanape.
That's a nice kick also.
East Brunswick will go on offense. They're trailing 14-0. They have 8:30 to go before the half comes about.
And as you look at in the sidelines, you can see there's someone that yells more than Marcus there this year, Harry Morris.
Colheim has it 1st and 10, brings the Bears out. Colheim keeps it. He's got the corner.
I think Edison is quite willing.
Good yardage.
I think Edison will be quite willing to give him that, but boy, I'll tell you what, Greg's going to pay for it.
I don't think they want to give him that because he has the ability to break it. He picked up a good 7 yards, 8 yards right there. And
he's walking slow to the huddle. And I'm sorry, I'll take it back.
Picked up 8 yards. It's 2nd and 2. The ball at the East Brunswick 35-yard line. Clock ticking. We're down to 7:35 before half. Bears trailing 14-0. Colheim gives it inside. Sermonello.
He's tossed around.
Has the first down, I believe, though. See where they spot it. And
yes.
Yep, they'll say first down East Brunswick.
And you may see the Bears go back to the real basics there. If anything's going to really happen for them off the wishbone, that initial dive has to pick up some yardage. You might see him testing Sermonello at the middle of that line there. And, of course, it all is a read there. Greg will give the ball to the up back if the tackle should move. If not, he will keep it. If someone comes down on him, he will pitch it.
1st and 10 from the 37. The Bears have it, trailing 14-0. Sermonello again inside. And I've got to think if you're Marcus Borden, you've gone now 5 quarters without a score. You want something before half.
You want something anytime you can get it.
That's correct.
But especially now.
You can't play outside of yourself, though. He knows, like I said, it's a very young team. He knows what they're capable of doing, and you just don't want to throw the ball away doing something that you're not really that comfortable in doing.
2nd and 9 for East Brunswick. Pickup of 1 yard on the last play. Sabatino comes in motion. Colheim rolls right, pitches back to Sabatino. He's still on his feet. And he's dropped. Maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage.
That's excellent defensive coverage by the Eagles. They just closed in on him.
The pursuit was super, no doubt about it. I said the good news for the Bears was that Edison might be bigger, but they certainly couldn't be any quicker than the Piscataway team the Bears played last week. But Edison's showing excellent quickness right there.
It's another one of those 3rd and long situations.
They're calling it 3rd and about 10 that he lost yardage on that play. So here we go. The Bears on their own 37. They have 2 receivers wide left. Man in motion. The counter again with Sanofi, and forget it.
Looks like Mr. Simmons was
And
the
I'll
one.
tell you, he was cat-like quickness there. And you're right, and as you see Simmons get up, Jim, Doug, according to Mike Wojcik, Doug Graber says Rashid Simmons is the best athlete he has had in his summer camp.
Okay.
That says a whole lot.
Doug Graber, the Rutgers coach.
The Rutgers coach, right. So tells you what kind of ability this young man has.
Think it'll do any good to get him there?
Punt by East Brunswick.
This is going to be a run back.
Here we go, Rod. He's a little jitterbug out there. Still on his feet, crossing midfield.
I'll tell you, like this young back, Rod.
Nice job.
And Rod's not a big fella. He's 5'7", 145 pounds. He is a senior, but doing some fine running this afternoon.
So Edison will have it with 4:45 remaining before halftime. The ball is on in East Brunswick territory on the Bears' 42-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Eagles. They're on top, 14-0.
He was
Pappas.
moving forward again, and they caught him. That's the 5th time.
Flag is down. Procedure against Edison.
Of course, it hasn't seemed to. It seems to slow down Edison more so than anything
it's
else.
just a bad habit. It's just a bad habit, and the young fellow.
Phil, was he there last year quarterbacking?
Yes, he
Edison?
was. He's an all-area quarterback.
And I don't recall that problem last year.
Good point. Maybe it's something that developed over the summer. If he does it to the point that he can't control like he is, you have to believe that he's been doing it a lot longer.
And look who's calling the signals, but sophomore Frank Sermonello.
1st and 15 now for the Eagles. From the East Brunswick 47, quick pitch. Pershner turns the corner and picks up about 7 yards. Clock down to 4 minutes. Second quarter here at East Brunswick High School. They bring up 2nd and about, let's say, almost 8. Ball on East Brunswick 41. No need for Edison to put it in the air. And just as I say that, Pappas does, but he's smothered.
Screamed, I tell you.
Good defense by East Brunswick.
I tell you,
Rich Whalen, number 7 in there.
You got Whalen, you got
Ian Silverman, number 17, was brought back there.
and Rich Katomer as well.
Okay.
So it'll bring up 3rd and long for Edison. 3rd and about 18. We've been lucky there has been no showers, even though they forecasted rain tonight. Pappas from the shotgun, flag. He looks deep, overthrows his man.
That's his first incompletion of the night.
Intended for number 17, Bentelli.
And it's procedure against Edison.
I suspect they'll refuse this one now.
Against the Eagles.
That puts Edison in a 4th down situation if East Brunswick decides not to elect the penalty. And perhaps we can get the Eagles to kick, Phil.
It will be the first punt of the night.
It is declined by East Brunswick. So it'll bring up that 4th down you were talking about, Jim. And East Brunswick will get the ball with about 2.5 minutes left.
And I tell you, punt returning has been an adventure if you watch the Piscataway game. And I noticed that Marcus Borden has replaced Shanafi, who was back there.
Agapitosho and Kolheim were the deep backs.
Here's the punt by Kaiser.
And it just
Off the side of his foot. It's going to go out of bounds. And East Brunswick will take over around their own 27-yard line.
okay. So aided by that quarterback sack plus the penalties, that was enough to finally stifle Edison's offense. It was just sort of a relentless ground game, thrown in with some passes here and there. And let's see if the Bears with 2:40 left can muster something of their own drive here.
Ball spotted at their own 25. Tangway wide right. Everyone in tight. Kohlheim has it. He's looking down the center of the field.
Matthews is
Tangway's there. He's got him.
Sorry.
He makes a turn and moves into Edison territory.
I tell you, Tangway coming up and finding the open spot there, and Kohlheim doing a nice job getting the ball to him. And I mentioned Matthews before. I don't see Mike Matthews.
You're right.
Out there on the field today.
Well, that's easily the longest pass completion for Greg Kohlheim this season, 28 yards.
First down for the Bears on the Edison 45, time down to 2:20. Plenty of time to get the ball in. Kohlheim puts 3 receivers to the left.
He did have a 24-yarder against Piscataway, so this tops it.
And making some adjustments at the line of scrimmage. They come back with that little counter, Shanafi, and it hasn't worked yet tonight.
And Onders tried to claim that he stripped the ball from Shanafi, but official says no way.
Timeout. East Brunswick will take their last one of the half.
Yeah, they did use 2 in that first quarter. So the Bears, is this their first time in Edison territory too? I think it is.
No, they had that drive in the first period.
Okay, you're right.
Second time, though, that's it. That's been it.
Well, they haven't had many offensive opportunities. Edison's, with its long drives, eats up a lot of the clock, and East Brunswick has to make the most of this opportunity.
And Wojcik's back out there lobbying again with the officials. As we look at the East Brunswick huddle. And Phil, you mentioned some coaching changes or some new additions, new faces. One we saw around that we were pleased to see was John Emery.
John Emery, yeah, it's back helping Frank Knoppenberger to keep things going in this complex here, and it was good to see him.
Got him there.
John put a lot of years here on this football field.
No doubt about it, just a great man.
Both he and John and Mike Palumbo were honored this past year, I believe, were they not?
Yes,
Phil?
they were. Yes, they were. And Mike Palumbo's over at the refreshment stand. He says he won't be on the field, but he's helping out with the refreshment
and
stand.
We've got a whistle and a flag and a delay of game and a procedure against East Brunswick.
And I believe it was the Bill Denny chapter of the Football Hall of Fame that was honoring these 2 gentlemen, and well deserved for their. The chapter honors them not only for their football contributions, but their citizenship.
That's right.
And tremendous and well-deserved awards.
All right, East Brunswick facing a 2nd and 10. The ball now on their own 49-yard line. Kohlheim looking deep, puts it up.
Agapatosho there.
Oh!
Good catch! Was he in?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, mercy.
Wow.
Agapatosho taking it away from the defender.
We talked about the young man's speed, and I talked about the fact that he has developed hands. If he can put it all together, he can truly be a weapon. Reached up over the defender to make that catch. Quite frankly, I thought he had a foot out of bounds.
But you only need one in.
Official was right there, however.
35 yards on that play.
East Brunswick has no timeouts. We have 1:45. The ball is now on the Edison 16. 3 receivers to the left and another flag.
Encroachment, I believe.
By who?
Let's see.
And we got another procedure against East Brunswick. I got to think the center is moving the ball, Phil.
Well, the center can move the ball.
Well, regardless, you know, it's these types of calls that you know, that you see in high school games that you don't see in college.
No, but we saw him in the pros last Monday night.
Yeah, but that was purposely done. They were trying to draw somebody offside. But sometimes these are the types of plays that I wish the official would just hold his flag and just mention to the coach.
5 yards, a move back, 1st and 15. Now from the 21st, Kohlheim's pass is knocked down.
And that's Foster and Simmons meeting at the quarterback there. And that's a lot of beef. That's exactly 485 pounds of beef coming at you.
You added that up before the game. I know you did.
No, I just did it right here.
Oh, Lord.
Well, All right, the Bears now with 1:41 have a 2nd and 15. Ball is on the Edison 21.
And let's see, Colheim has had some decent protection.
Sermonello in the middle picks up a few, but the clock is running.
And that's to keep Edison honest right here.
3rd and about 2. I'm sorry, 3rd and about 12. 3 receivers to the left.
Watch Agapitosho.
Colheim puts it up over the middle and has it intercepted.
Well, there's the drive.
And I tell you, that's just inexperience there.
Yeah, he just threw it up.
He threw it up.
Abrio, number 31 on the interception.
Colheim threw it up, jumped in the air, was off balance, and threw it with nothing but arm there. Tried to hit Chanafi, and
well, that spirited drive ends on the 1-yard line. Of course, Alio is his name, I believe. Advanced it out to the 16-yard line.
Well, Edison will have it with 1:07 now, clock running.
Elliot Abrio. Okay.
And they just got a guard against Edison, breaking a big one right here. Just down.
Handoff inside.
That's under.
And I tell you, good defense by the Bears.
50 seconds.
You got Whalen and Tom Ruja.
Andrew Onder, was recognized as their number 1 running back coming in. We haven't seen too much of him as far as his ability to break away, but he's strictly a power runner and a heck of a blocker.
And Wojcik said that he thinks this guy's going to have a great year.
Actually, he lost a yard. 2nd and 11 from the 16, their own 16. 23 seconds.
And once again,
That's going to be it.
Defensive line. Ken Molina down on the bottom there.
Pershner on the carry. Clock will tick. We're down to 10 seconds. No rush by Edison.
Pershner on the carry for the Eagles.
And as you said, Jim, that should be the last play of this half.
Brings the ball to the 17-yard line.
And that'll do it. So it's halftime here at East Brunswick. The Bears trailing 14-0 as a light sprinkle now begins. And we know what Mike Wojcik's going to be talking about in the locker room. But if you're Marcus Borden, what do you want to do?
Marcus Borden, you want to make sure your team keeps their heads up. Actually, they played a very spirited first half. Big plays have, for the most part, have really hurt them. They had an opportunity to score right down here. So composure is the name of the game for the Bears.
I think that
right
those 2 pass completions, those less long pass completions, shows exactly what Colheim can do if he gets enough time and if he chooses his receivers wisely. They do have the ability to connect on some long passes, and hopefully they can score.
Well, it's halftime here at East Brunswick High School. The Bears trail 14-0, and we'll be back with the start of the second half action in just a moment.
is Eric Miller, the drum major. The drum major.
Well, we welcome you back to the second half action at J. Doyle Stadium. The Bears will receive the second half kickoff. They trail 14-0, and a light rain just came through, and we're hoping that it'll hold off the rest of the evening. Kaiser, and apparently the officials weren't ready for this.
Well, yeah, they were, but they throw a flag, so somebody must be offside. I don't know.
And Pappas was in motion once again, even though he's on the sidelines.
We will see what the call is here.
Well, it's against Edison. Offside.
And I'd have to think that Edison has been called for at least 10 penalties already.
How could you have a procedure on a kickoff?
Well, you simply move before you should.
Well, you can move up to the line of scrimmage, right? Up to the line where the
if you
ball
pass
is.
the ball before the kicker kicks it.
It's offside, right? Come on, Phil. I thought you were up on these rules.
And here we go.
Kaiser will try it one more time. Short kick.
Boy, they better field this.
Someone better look for it for East Brunswick.
Wow.
And Kohlheim finally Agapatosio finally puts his hands on it.
But you made a good point. Someone better pick that ball up quick. It's a live ball there. And the Edison defender was very near the ball.
Well, we've talked about the shower that came through. We'll see if it has any impact on the running game particularly. East Brunswick will take over on their own 31, 1st and 10.
You say running game, I'll tell you what. I think there's an advantage to the passer and the receivers in that they know where the ball is going, and perhaps they could cause some problems. Certainly, Agapatosio showed he could catch the ball long range. What do you think, Phil? Maybe they ought to throw?
I'll tell you in a minute.
Yeah. Sabatino in motion. Kohlheim gives it inside. Carminello.
Marcus pointed out that Greg had a tough time last week throwing the ball once it got wet.
Okay.
And of course, it's not nearly as bad as it was last week. But as I said, he's not a passer yet. He's throwing the ball, but he's not a passer. You develop that over time.
Sermonillo picks up 4. It's 2nd and 6 from the 35. East Brunswick trailing 14-0 as we start the third quarter. Sabatino. Jitterbugs for a couple. Bring up 3rd down. 3rd and about 2. Well, we talked about Madison Central, and East Brunswick will be traveling there October 2nd to take on the Spartans.
And they'll see more of the wishbone. They saw the wishbone against Piscataway. They see it today against Edison, and they're going to see it against Madison Central.
3rd and 2 from the 39. East Brunswick, Kohlheim keeps, pitches back.
Ooh.
Sabatino drops the ball. That's a free ball. And a foot race.
That's Simmons.
Simmons has it.
Oh,
and
wow.
Almost drags Kohlheim into the end zone.
Boy, I'll tell you what, Greg had all he could do, but Simmons was opportunistic, and you saw his speed.
He has good speed, and I thought he was going to carry Greg completely into the end zone. He carried him 4 yards as it was, brought down around the 1 foot line.
Boy, so he misses his opportunity to score. But really a brilliant play. Unfortunate for the Bears. That's their 2nd fumble. And it gives Edison a golden opportunity here.
Ball is on the 1 foot line, basically. 1st and goal. Edison will have 4 opportunities to punch it over. Pappas gives to Onder, and he's in. And so East Brunswick now looking at a 20-0 deficit.
And just an early turnover in this half that the Bears really could not afford. Again, though, Rashid Simmons showing tremendous speed, scooped that ball up and went down the sidelines. Only Greg Kohlheim caught him. And
so this touchdown comes off another turnover.
Kaiser to add the 21st point for Edison. And it's good. And it looks like young Mr. Kaiser has a pretty good foot there.
Yes, he does.
So East Brunswick will get it back on offense.
that's strange that Kaiser would kick the extra point farther than he's been kicking the kickoffs.
You know, you're right about that.
Right.
Well, different setup with the ball.
Okay, the Bears have to regroup right here. Again, you're talking about a very young team, and if you're the coach, what you worry about is them just losing it all together. Marcus talked about the fact that they really don't yell at this team a whole lot because they are so very young. Young kids can't take it. He tries to keep things very basic until they really get a handle of it. But clearly they're at a disadvantage right now. They got to keep their heads about themselves.
Shanafy and Kohlheimer back deep for East Brunswick. Kaiser, let's see if he can get a little more into it this time, Phil. See if he heard you from up here. And he did. Good kickoff this time.
That was excellent.
Kohlheim from about the 12. Straight up the field.
Wow.
And moves the pile across the 30-yard line.
He's really doing it all for the Bears.
The 30 to the 32-yard line.
And still down on his knees, he pops up.
10 for the Bears.
Well, we're playing on a Thursday night here at J. Doyle Stadium. A little unusual, but quite common for most now in New Jersey high school football because of the Jewish holidays. This game normally would have been played on a Friday or a Saturday. So a little strange. May have impacted the crowd somewhat.
Now Edison is hitting now.
I'll tell you, once again, Foster the first hit, and Simmons slides in there as well.
Shanafy on the carry, picks up maybe one. We'll call it 2nd and 9 from the 32.
From the 33-yard line.
And you got to believe the Bears are going to be passing on this down.
Yeah, they need to put the ball up there despite the fact that it is wet.
Tangway goes wide right. Kohlheim looking for him. He
Oh,
has
his
him.
receiver
Fell down.
Defender did fall down.
Wow, and they picked up the first down.
First down close to midfield.
I'll tell you, good thing well, you actually had the safety come over and help, but the defender fell down, and he must have twisted his ankle, Jim. He's limping a little bit.
Yep. And of course, that's the problem when you have a treacherous field like this.
First down for East Brunswick. Ball spotted at their own 48-yard line. 8:30 remaining in the third quarter. Bears trailing 21-0.
Now, unofficially, I have Kohlheim 4 for 9 with that completion.
Sermonello in the middle.
I'll tell you, testing the middle line and coming up with nothing. You got Onders there at the nose guard.
Probably right at the 50-yard line where it'll be 2nd down and 9.
And Kevin Arose, who's played a solid game in the middle of that line.
Sermonello picks up a yard, 2nd and 9. Ball right at midfield.
Linebacker.
Kohlheim looks quickly over the middle,
Ooh.
looking for his man.
Should have been a
And
flag.
there is a flag.
Shanafy had the ball, but looks like number 31 there, where Edison was called.
That'll be an automatic first down.
I'll tell you, the official standing right on top of it did not throw the flag.
Interesting.
Said it was incomplete, and all of a sudden the flag flew out of there, but clearly interference.
And that was Elliot Abrio. He was the one that picked off that pass by Kohlheim in the end zone, or at the 1-yard line, to stifle their one serious threat. So Abrio gets called this time, and I believe it's a 15-yard penalty.
Actually, it wasn't pass interference, it was face masking.
Oh, wow.
Oh, interesting.
So it will be a first down for East Brunswick, and it moves them into Edison territory.
Nonetheless, 15 yards is...
Ball's going to be spotted at the Eagle 35-yard line. The Bears at one time had the ball at the Edison 12-yard line, but were unable to capitalize. looking here to get their first score of the season. Kohlheim rolls left, looking for someone. Finally puts it up in the air, and it's going to be intercepted.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, just
Is it Abrio again? Can't tell.
it's just a very tough. Whistle's got to blow, official.
Well, he still had the ball, Phil.
Well,
He wasn't going anywhere, though.
exactly. Somebody's going to get hurt.
And a
speaking
couple
of
are
hurt,
down.
you got Greg Kohlheim, who's down. Rolled left and threw left, and as he was throwing the ball, he got whacked, and he's still down. And we talked about it earlier, Jim. Probably certainly the most valuable football player that they have out here. A great defensive player and the core of your offensive team. And Marcus Borden is out there himself taking a good look at him.
Well, so is actually Mike Wojcik, too.
Mike Wojcik's that type of guy. I said affable at the beginning of the game. Just a very friendly coach and didn't mind talking about his team and his players. And he's excited about the season. But it's nice to see the opposing coach come out there as well.
Right. Greg really left himself open for a hit when he was looking downfield and the ball was picked off. But you always put yourself in a difficult position.
And
Looks like Greg's up.
He's getting up. And he's been taking some hits tonight.
He's been taking some shots.
A lot of hits.
And we noticed he was limping in the first quarter.
He's leaving his body exposed. He's getting that ball off at the very last moment, and they're coming.
You know,
Looks like he's holding his ribs.
He took some shots there. Like I said, he left himself exposed. And you see Phil Hostler checking him out. So we won't find out about who, if he is unable to come back, who will fill in for him, because they are on defense right now, and they'll miss him defensively as well.
Well, Edison will take over on the interception. 1st and 10 from their own 16-yard line.
And
Pappas on the handoff inside to Allinder.
of course, the maturity is developed in situations like this, Phil, when you're able to bounce back.
That's for sure. You got Jason Book filling in for Kohlheim defensively right now, and
To the 17-yard line, where it'll be 2nd and 8.
he's a young sophomore. He's got to have a little butterflies.
Yard pickup for Edison. Quick pitch back. McCutcheon on the carry. I'm sorry, Pershner. And he picks up about 3. It'll bring up 3rd and about 5 for Edison.
I believe that was Dumas on the tackle there.
They're working on Kohlheim on the bench. Trainer Hostler looking him over.
Meanwhile, David Kilkenny is warming up for East Brunswick. Kilkenny, I believe, is just a sophomore.
He is.
5'7", 146 pounds.
Quick pitch this time. Ball's on the ground. Good bounce for Edison.
Wow.
Allinder throws a straight arm and continues, and a flag has been thrown.
I wonder, are they going to say he grabbed the mask when he threw the straight arm there?
Is that possible? Because there's certainly a face mask involved here. Well, they're pointing that way, so you could be right, Phil. Allinder, does he play basketball?
Personal foul, clip against Edison.
Clip. How could
don't
there
see
be a
that
clip
too
called? There was no blocker there. It was Allinder himself,
Someone coming from the backside there.
obviously.
So it'll move Edison back.
But Allinder picked that up on a bounce.
It's a spot foul. Brings the ball back to the 14-yard line, where it'll be 3rd and 12.
So it was a penalty for the spot of the foul, which only makes it 3rd and 12.
So we'll see if Edison puts it up where they try to get outside wide, use their speed. 5:53 remaining in the 3rd quarter. East Brunswick trailing 21-0. Edison has the ball, 3rd and 12 on their own 14. Pappas, quick pitch. Pershner Goes wide right. Makes the turn, but he's going to be short of the first.
I think Edison will have to punt. No, are they going to give it to him? That's all.
Just short. It'll be 4th and about 2.
I tell you, Jason Jacobs once again coming up to make that tackle.
From the 25-yard line.
And
Whalen and Aji Botosho go back deep for East Brunswick.
It's a quick,
Good kick.
well, I'm looking at
Aji
this-
drops the ball and falls on it.
And Kohlheim looks like he's about ready to go back in again. So good for him.
I'll tell you. Gutty performance.
By number 44, McCutcheon for the Eagles. Well, it'll be
Well, the Bears with decent field position here.
Where it'll be 1st and 10, East Brunswick.
They'll have it 1st and 10 on their own 42. 5:16 remaining 3rd quarter.
And as I said before, you can't look for anything too fancy. Marcus has kept it basic, and they just have it. He's intentionally, so they're not just going to do any wild thing to try to get something on the board here. They'll spread them out and perhaps try to hit the receiver.
Kohlheim back in there. Shanafi goes in motion, and someone moved on the offensive line.
Well, let's not forget this is the 7th quarter, and East Brunswick has yet to put a point on the board. So that is their number 1 objective. That does not help.
5-yard penalty to bring the ball back to the 36-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 15.
5-yard penalty makes it 1st and 15. Ball now moved back to the 36. Tanguay comes out wide right. He's got single coverage. Shanafi in motion.
Coming. Edison's coming.
Whoa! Kohlheim gets away.
Ooh, Simmons.
Gets around him.
And Kohlheim steps
Does he
out of
get
bounds, and there's the flag there.
I'll tell you. And Rat hit him out of bounds. I don't think it was intentional, but the fact of the matter is he hit him out of bounds. But Rashid Simmons showing some speed, but so was Greg Kohlheim running for his life.
A little bit faster afoot there, and was able to get around the big 6'6", 255-pounder. And you're going to tack on 15 from this point as well.
Edison player down, limping.
Oh, it is Simmons himself.
Wow. He took off after Kohlheim, and for a big man, he's got very quick feet. Wasn't quite as quick as Greg, however, and you see Simmons come up limping.
Yeah, you wonder if it's a hamstring the way he was pursuing there, Phil. He's hurting.
Well, he's running off a little ginger. You might be right.
So with the personal foul, the ball will be moved into Edison territory. Again, East Brunswick with good field position. It'll give him a 1st down. The ball will be spotted at the Edison 36-yard line. 4:25 remaining 3rd quarter. Shanafi in motion. Kohlheim inside. Sermonello.
That's number 44, Frank Sermonello on the carry. Stop by number 62, Charlie Beckethead. 2nd and 8. From the
So it'll bring up 2nd and 8.
5-yard line.
Pickup of 2 on that last play. Ball at the Edison 34-yard line. Kohlheim goes straight back, puts it up deep, looking for Tanquay, but overthrown.
That was just a little too long. Nice arm, though.
He showed he could put it out there, that's for sure, but hasn't developed that touch.
We're going to have a 3rd down for East Brunswick. It'll be 3rd.
So they got a 3rd down situation here in 8. I'm sure they're going to throw it up as well. Get number 87 out there. We haven't called his name too much. Keith Fragaro on the left side.
Kohlheim calling signals. Sabatino in motion, fake to Sabatino. Kohlheim rolls left.
Greg has room there if he wants to use it.
Throws it, and Sermonello can't hold on to it.
Well, there's a situation where he elected to throw the ball, but probably could have done just as well to keep it. Gained just as much yards.
Brings up 4th down, and I've got to think East Brunswick's going to go. Nothing to lose in this game.
That's for sure.
They are trailing 21-0 with 3:38 remaining in the 3rd quarter.
Greg shows, I mean, he does have good speed. And if he can get out there, by the way, Simmons is back in, Phil. If he can get it to the outside, I think that's East Brunswick's best offensive opportunity this game, certainly. So they do
put
trips.
3, yeah, now they
Now Agabetosho now comes to the right
They
side.
move him back over to the right side. 3 receivers to the left. Sabatino in motion, same play basically. Kohlheim puts it up deep, looking for Tankway, and almost intercepted again.
I'll tell you.
Thought Tankway pushed off, huh?
And Kohlheim threw that ball as far as he possibly could throw it. And he still took a shot and bounced back up.
Well, another opportunity falls short.
So Edison will take over on downs, 1st and 10 from their own 34.
Number 21 back at quarterback for the Eagles.
So we see, I don't know, a lot of white uniforms right out there, clean uniforms.
Pappas hands off inside. Ordner again.
And Dumas and Molina teaming up on the tackle there.
First around the carry for the Eagles. A gain of 1. Bring up 2nd and 9 from the 36.
Well, Edison will have it 2nd and 9, the ball on their own 36,
And
clock down to 3 minutes.
And Edison's not going to do anything fancy. This is just the basic bone.
Pappas, pitch back, Odner.
Oh, good tackle.
And that's Ken Molina coming up again with another super play.
Pick up of 1.
You know, we mentioned in the first game, Piscataway was only up 6-0 at halftime, Phil, and the defense did play a rather spirited game. I think they're playing as well as they possibly can tonight.
Well, again, we talk about turnovers. Turnovers hurt you all the time, and the Bears have played a spirited game.
Well, unfortunately for East Brunswick, they don't catch a breather either going to Madison Central.
Oof.
Then you'll see the offensive wishbone run as.
And procedure is going to be called against Edison.
I think the center moved out quicker
than Pappas.
I was going to mention Madison Central's wishbone. One thing they do well, and that is run that offensive attack with good tempo. Edison seems to be just a little uncomfortable. Certainly, Pappas is not the type of quarterback that can run fast. You know, use these the up tempo that Madison Central does.
Well, as I said at the top of the show, that Edison's wishbone is more of a power bone. You know, they're going to shove it down your throat little by little.
3rd down and 12 for Edison as they go into a shotgun formation. Pappas has shown a good arm thus far tonight. He's looking over the middle and almost intercepted by Whalen.
I'll tell you.
Right, he had that covered well. Good anticipation.
Rich Whalen, just a soft, almost coming up with a big play there.
So Edison's
was a big play. He knocked it down.
And Rich Whalen's dad was a quarterback here at East Brunswick in the, I guess, the early 70s. I'll be kind to Rich.
A good quarterback?
He was a good quarterback. He was a good athlete.
Yeah.
Very good athlete. Good baseball player, too. So Edison will punt once again. Whalen and Aji will be back deep.
Agabetosho.
Good kick this time by Kaiser.
Well,
Agabetosho has it, falls on the ground. That's a dead ball right there. He's down at the 35-yard line. And East Brunswick will go on offense with 1:41 remaining 3rd quarter. And they trail 21-0. really two big plays if you look at it. The opening kickoff,
Right.
80 yards by Rod, and the first offensive series in the third quarter when the fumble occurred by East Brunswick, and Simmons picked it up and rambled almost into the end zone.
A big difference in the game.
It could be 7-0 without that. You're right.
Kohlheim still in there, looks, has Tanquay. Tanquay still on his feet.
Ooh.
He gets hit from behind as he picks up about 7 to 8 yards.
And he'll learn as a young receiver there's a time to go down.
Well, Rad slipped and fell once again.
It'll be 2nd and 2.
They'll call it 8 yards, so it's 2nd and 2. Ball sitting at the East Brunswick 43.
And Mr. Simmons coming all the way from the right side to make the tackle, be in on the tackle there.
Still in all, Phil, I have to think, we haven't mentioned the offensive line. Kohlheim has had some room.
Sermonello tripped up at the line of scrimmage. Falls forward for maybe a yard.
And that's Foster, the bookend. William Foster in on the tackle for Edison there.
Clock is down to 30 seconds, third quarter. And East Brunswick is facing a 3rd and 1. Ball resting at their own 44-yard line. Should be the last play of the third quarter. Sabatino in motion. Kohlheim on the keeper. And I think he's got enough for the first. As the third quarter comes to an end, Bears trailing 21-0.
It's close, John.
See what they do with this.
It's very close.
Oh, he's got it. Oh, they moved it back.
They
Okay.
did move it
Yeah.
back.
And they're going to bring the chains across. So while we have a moment, we give you, and you watch the team switch sides of the field, we want to welcome you to our 10th year of high school sport coverage here on Channel 8. And hopefully we'll be with you through the football season into the basketball season. And Lord knows how quick those seasons come and go.
Boy, I'll tell you what, I remember the first time we did a game here, John.
Well, John, we have an anniversary of a sort starting this game off. I believe 10 years it's been.
10 years of high school coverage.
Wow.
Actually, I did the first game by myself as a kind of demo, if you will. And it was East Brunswick against Saraville. One of those games typical to this that seemed to have lasted 8 hours. And when you're talking by yourself, it's rough.
Well, I remember the first game that we did together, and that
That's
was
right.
the Central Jersey Group 4 final.
Yeah.
The infamous game where
Derek Rowe
had an opportunity, and a sun was in his eyes, no doubt about it, or so they say anyway. But nonetheless, that was the closest East Brunswick ever came to winning a Central Jersey Group 4 championship. They played in a couple of more, but never came as close as that. And that was against J.P. Stevens.
Well, we've seen a lot of changes over the years, and we're just glad to be back with you starting our 10th season. As Kohlheim looks, puts it up, he's got his man. Haji Bitosho fighting his way, still fighting, is taken out of bounds.
Yeah, by the way, that was a first down. You know that, right?
They gave him the first down at East Brunswick, right?
Okay.
Haji Tabosho making several moves on that reception there.
And that is his second pass reception, I believe.
He picks up 7. It'll be 2nd and 3. The ball is at the Edison 47. And as we said, really 2 plays have really dictated the outcome of the game thus far.
And the Bears look like they're ready to open up the game somewhat.
They got trips to the left. Kohlheim gives it off to Sermonello.
And he picks up the first.
And East Brunswick showing a little spunk here on offense as they enter the fourth quarter.
By the way, Kohlheim is 6 for 11, getting close to about 100 yards almost.
1st and 10, East Brunswick.
Bears pick up the first down as they move the chains. They'll have 11:40 to work with. And again, 3 receivers to the left. Kohlheim sets, plants, throws long, intercepted.
Flag goes. No, I'm
Rod.
sorry, that wasn't a flag, was it?
That's the marker.
Marker, yeah.
Rod comes up with the
And
interception.
Rad, who's had a tough day defensively, comes up with a big play right there. Kohlheim leaning back and just putting it up out there, and Rad played it rather well.
Well, the play is designed for Agapitosho to use his speed, yet the ball was not thrown far enough, and Rad was right there to pick it off.
So East Brunswick will move on to defense now as Edison has it 1st and 10 on their own 21. And we don't expect too much from them other than to keep it on the ground. And that's what they do. Little counter movement there. Carry by number 44. And that was McCutcheon. First carry of the night for him.
McCutcheon's transfer from Metuchen.
Okay, yes, I remember him.
Yeah.
Picks up 2, make it 2nd and 8, ball at the Edison 23.
I saw a couple of transfers.
You're right. They got Nick Cavallari, 5'10", 170-pound senior, transferred from Bishop R.
And didn't the quarterback for Perth Amboy transfer to John F. Kennedy, I believe?
A lot of movement going on.
Yeah.
Under on the carry, but a flag has been thrown.
Flag on the play.
Very unusual. I mean, not so unusual today. When we were in high school, it was very rare to see anyone transfer.
Right. Then you had Chucky Bowles, who left Bishop R.
Yes, right.
So you.
Chuck's at where? Metuchen?
No. He's back at Metuchen. You're right.
So if this has happened in football, you can imagine what's going on in basketball season. St. Joe's may have a whole different squad there. The penalty moves it back, 2nd and 13. Edison now from their own 18. Quick pitch. Pershner, who's had a good day on the ground, gets up around 25-yard line.
And once again, Paul Dumas in on the tackle. Probably a little further down the field than he liked, but nevertheless, he's there.
So another 3rd down situation, and
Third
East
and
Brunswick
6.
defense really steadying itself.
Pappas turns and pitches. Under.
Ooh, great tackle.
Under is
And
taken down.
Really nice play. Good pursuit by the defense.
Tackled by Lorenzo.
And that's the way you want a player to come up there, like young Lorenzo did just there. Come up quick and put your nose in there.
Edison quickly gets their punt team out. Kaiser does everything in terms of the kicking game.
And you can see the East Brunswick side noticeably up because of the defensive effort that's being displayed on the field by their side.
Is that Shanafi back there?
Actually, Batobo back and Whalen will let it go, and it goes out of bounds inside the East Brunswick 40-yard line.
And Kaiser looks like he hurt himself on that kick.
So the Bears will move back on offense with 8:35 remaining in the game. They're trailing 21-0. The ball will be spotted on their own 40-yard line. Some good action this weekend in the GMC Red Division.
We will see Madison Central at Woodbridge. That'll be the feature game.
Flag is thrown, and we got Kilkenny in at quarterback.
And Kilkenny's just a young player. He, of the Golden Bear fame, was just a super Pop Warner player, but he's awfully young to be thrown in the fire right here, and it is a baptism by fire. He'll only learn from this.
It's against Edison. So Kilkenny, number 19, now in at quarterback.
It's a good opportunity for him. Game's 21-0 now. Kohlheim really not having as much success as he wanted.
And they're patching Greg up down on the sideline. He's on the bench. They're putting a little ice on his shoulder.
Well, the fact that the pads are off indicates that he was probably persevering with that injury, that rib injury that he suffered when he went down there, and now elected to give a rest.
So we'll see what young Mr. Kilkenny can do with 8:19 to go. And he hands off to Shanafi.
Ooh,
And
and he's
Shanafi
wrapped.
goes nowhere.
Wow.
Now stopped immediately by number 31. Elliot Abreu.
And Dan Hagan in on that tackle there.
By the way, I saw Mike Spadafino, a former East Brunswick player, down on the sideline looking at Greg Kohlheim. Mike's
Dr. Spadafino.
Dr. Michael Spadafino, and I will tell you that he has a daughter over at Madison Central, Christy Spadafino, who is probably going to be an all-state soccer player.
Wow. Kilkenny showing some speed.
Wow.
Still on his feet.
Wow, how did he get through there?
I'll tell you, he is an athlete. He is a tough little ball player. I watched him for a number of years play ball, and he will give you 100%.
Phil, when you have a Kilkenny with that kind of speed, do you look at a more wishbone, traditional wishbone type of offense in the future?
Well, but you can certainly stay with it. Yeah, as you can see, he is a good runner, and you want to take advantage of his speed and whatnot. So if he's able to get the reads down and get some more experience, he has the potential to be a good one.
It's 3rd and 5 for the Bears at the Edison 38-yard line. Kilkenny keeps again, goes to his left, fakes the pitch, steps up.
Ooh.
He's going to be short of the first down.
And Simmons just missed him, and it's he was nailed by McCutcheon.
Well, 4th down, 4th and about 3. Marcus is going to go for it. I mean, give Mr. Kilkenny a chance, see what the young man can do in this situation. Ball's on the Edison 36. 6 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the game. Bears trailing 21-0. Their home opener of the 1993 season. Kilkenny rolls right.
He's got room, just spread it out.
Ooh, and he's ripped down short of the first down.
He'll be short of it. Not from a lack of effort, however.
I'll tell you, Edison, however, showing good team speed themselves. Kilkenny did have a break there, but they closed down on it quickly. Not just one player, but several.
Phil, does the young man have a throwing arm?
He's more of a runner, but I certainly he's just a sophomore. Certainly can be developed, I believe.
And he's going to stay in to play defense as well. Now he'll come out.
10 from the 36 with 6:05 remaining.
Clock ticking down inside 6 minutes. Edison has it 1st and 10 on downs. Ball at their own 36-yard line. And a delay of game.
Probably, yeah.
And this game has seemed like, it seems like it's lasted about 3 days.
Phil, do you think, I'm looking at the score, it's 21-0. I kind of thought that Edison would come in here and look a little bit more impressive than they have. They really have put 14 points up on the board following big plays, and they only have 7 points to speak of.
Well, Jim, I think you got to remember this is.
I guess the question I'm asking is, maybe we ought to give more credit to East Brunswick.
Well, you can give East Brunswick some credit, but you can better believe that Mike Wojcik's a smart coach. He knows this is a Thursday night. He knows that Woodbridge is probably here checking him out. He sees no reason to pull out his full arsenal. They've shown the ability to pass, so he's going to keep it safe. Hope he can get out of here without any injuries and go on to what should be a Big Red Division game next week.
Okay.
Allinder on the carry, loses 2, so it's 2nd and 12. Ball at their own 32, clock down to 5 minutes. And a little counter move there.
And it's a foot race.
And great tackle there by Aji Bitosho.
I'll tell you, showing good speed himself. Kirshner took off, and
I'll tell you, Pershner's got to be around 70, 80 yards on the ground
he's picked
tonight.
up some good yardage.
35 to the 42-yard line. 1st and 10 Eagles.
That'll move the chains as the ball moves into East Brunswick territory.
Pershner, a 200-pound senior, and as you pointed out, having a fine day.
Next week on Friday for a 7:30 start. The game next week at Madison Central, 7:30 kickoff.
1st and 10. Pappas pitches back to Pershner again. Now it's the foot race, and I don't think anyone's going to catch him this time. And he scores.
I wanted to say he could go all the way, and he did.
42 yards.
And I think it's a matter right now of the Bears being worn down.
Yeah.
The Eagles are substituting rather freely. I think once you get late in the fourth quarter, with the great size disadvantage, it's just wearing the Bears down. And it's been a long day for the defense.
Kaiser for the extra point to make it 28-0.
Kaiser will kick out of the hole with number 12, Joe Osamo.
And what else but a flag? Offside, East Brunswick. Can't get much closer on the extra point, so they'll line up and try it again. We mentioned October 2nd, East Brunswick travels to Madison Central, where they will take on the Spartans.
And we'll be there. Or will we?
Well, we're not sure yet.
Okay.
We're sorry. We're hoping to be there. The kick is good by Kaiser. But if we look at the rest of their schedule, East Brunswick's back home on October 9th against Monroe. It's an afternoon game. And then they travel to Perth Amboy to take on the Panthers, have an open date on the 23rd, come back to play at JP Stevens. November 5th finds them here at home against North Brunswick, 13th home against Woodbridge. And that should be it for a couple weeks until they play Saraville on the 26th. And I guess that game, Jim, is
It's after the state.
after the state playoffs, but could be moved. My understanding, depending.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they could possibly play that on Thanksgiving if they would like, which would be nice. But
Which would be nice, yeah.
Yeah, but I will. Let me tell you something else that I've heard in the wind, and I don't know if this is official yet. But when the new Old Bridge High School opens up next year, there has been talks between the coach Bob DeMarco, who is presently Madison Central coach, and Marcus Borden about making that an annual Thanksgiving game. So we'll look forward to that and see if that comes about.
I thought you were going to announce that Phil was making a comeback as a player.
Oh, mercy. I thought you were going to say they're going to play Phillipsburg or something.
And the rain seems to start to be coming down now as Kaiser slides, gets the ball in the air. And Sermonello breaks through the pack. I'm sorry, it's number 40, I believe, for East Brunswick. And that young man is Dan Lorenzo.
And Lorenzo almost broke it as the rain comes down.
And Dan's jumping, he's happy. Good play. So with 4:10 left in the game, East Brunswick will have it.
And the Bears would dearly love to score here. Make no mistake about it.
That's right.
They haven't given up.
Number 19, Kilkenny at quarterback for the Bears.
Kilkenny back in there. He'll have it 1st and 10 on the Edison 39-yard line. Keeps it and is going to be knocked back for a loss.
It's going to be slammed back for a loss.
By number 73, Tony Lee of the Eagles.
Tony Lee coming in there and
Second and 11
just slamming Kilkenny to the turf.
from the 40-yard line.
So it'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Clock running, 3:25 remaining in the game. Rain is picking up, becoming a little heavier now. Kilkenny drops the ball and is down.
He slips as well.
Balls on it. A loss of 2. It'll be third down and
He'll lose about 2 on that play, so it'll be 3rd and 13 at the 42 with 3 minutes remaining.
Okay, the question is, can Kilkenny pass? We'll take a good look right here.
Clock running, 2 receivers wide left. Kilkenny is not going to put the ball in the air.
Okay, we got our answer.
Well, he probably has instructions from the coach not to put it up in the air if he doesn't have to.
Charlie Beckett.
And obviously he doesn't have to. Clock down to 2:30.
And needless to say, they'll go for it.
4th and 10. Kilkenny will
There's
put it up in
pass.
the air.
Ooh.
And it's caught by Shadafy. Knocked out of bounds. First down, East Brunswick.
That was not a bad pass on the
Not
run.
a bad pass at all. Nearly intercepted, but nevertheless a nice throw by the young fella there. So he answered our smart aleck question, I guess.
And would it be great to for Kilkenny to be able to get into the end zone?
First and 10 for East Brunswick. The ball spotted at the Edison, I believe it's the 16-yard line. Make that the 12-yard line. Kilkenny pitches back. And I didn't see who had the ball.
Shadafy, and he picked up some good
So there's
yards.
good penetration there. Wonder if the ball is, it looks like it's out of bounds too, so that stops the clock. And they're down to the 5-yard line. East Brunswick, I believe, has all 3 timeouts left.
They do, Jim.
So this is their best opportunity yet to score. And now Edison's going to bring on all its horses to try to stop them, it looks like.
2nd and 3. Ball at the
Boy, are they spread
Edison
across.
6-yard line. Kilkenny, hands inside.
Ooh.
Sabatino on the carry.
There was a lot of room in the middle there, Phil. They were really spread.
That's for sure. Sabatino picked up some good yardage, however.
Pushing it close to the first down marker. He'll be short. It'll bring up a 3rd and about, let's say, 1.5.
That's probably good for the Bears. They can get a first down here.
Perfect situation for a rollout option pass, right? Actually.
Now they'll measure to see if he got it.
That's good for the Bears as well. Now they can gather themselves and call a good play. They should have one ready here.
I might want to call a timeout here.
First down.
East Brunswick has a 1st and goal from the 4-yard line.
And several timeouts, you're right.
Yeah, might as well use them.
You got to see Kilkenny rolling left here, and with the option to keep it or to pass it.
Kilkenny.
Whoops,
Sabatino
fumble.
drops the ball, and he recovers it. Clock moving, 1:35.
Well, you know, call the timeout.
Yeah, I'm surprised. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 4.
That's more like the 2 or the 1.
I think you're right, Phil. It looks maybe from the 2. Kilkenny
He's going to take it himself.
tries to step inside,
He
scores!
did.
And East Brunswick gets on the board.
How about that?
I'll tell you.
Sophomore quarterback.
Young sophomore comes in and first true varsity experience and takes it down rather nicely, and it's got to be encouraging for Marcus. I said before, the Bears want to score, and they took it right to the Eagles there, and the Eagles had brought some of, if not all their, well, a good portion of
All right, Dan McGowan
Starters
is
back.
in to kick here, the extra point. We got the answer to that question.
McGowan trying to make it 28-7 and goes through the holder's hands.
you can pick that up.
And so the extra point attempt fails, but East Brunswick does score their first points of the 1993 season with 1:05 left in the game.
So they accomplished one goal at least, getting their points. And Edison's going to have one more opportunity. Now I can imagine that they're just going to play a rather conservative offense, run a couple of downs.
Edison wants to get out of here. The game is over for all intents and purposes. Mike Wojcik has pulled most of the starters, and he does not want to get anybody else hurt.
That's correct.
So East Brunswick will kick it off. Minute 5 remaining.
Number 23, Larry Smith.
And here comes the onside.
Yeah, it looks like it, doesn't it? Well, Edison's ready for it.
It's got to go 10 yards. The ball is loose on the ground.
That wasn't a bad kick, actually.
No.
It's supposed to pop up, though, Jim. The ball never popped up.
Right.
Well, on this wet grass, you know it's going to slide and skim, and that's what happened. Edison, I believe, has it. We'll wait for an official call. Edison's ball. So they'll have 1 minute and 2 seconds left in the game.
McCutcheon coming up with the recovery.
East Brunswick has 3 timeouts.
First and 10 from the 45. Number 18, Jeff Kaiser at quarterback.
And a lot of clean uniforms. John, you know about that. A lot of clean uniforms in there. And
That's Kaiser is the quarterback.
And once again, Dumas.
John's
Carried by Ortega.
talking about your athletic participation here at East Brunswick High School. I know you're a member of the boys gymnastics team, and I'm sure you're aware that there has been some changes made in East Brunswick sports. Boys gymnastics is no longer a varsity sport, but 2 sports have taken its place, and that is men's lacrosse and volleyball, and they will be forthcoming.
Well, as the clock winds down, that'll do it for this game.
There it is.
East Brunswick is defeated by Edison 28-6, but they do get on the board for 1993.
And it was predictable, I think. We came in here not with high expectations about what East Brunswick's young and lack of size could do against the what is really a talented and experienced and big Edison team, and it proved out on the field tonight.
That's for sure. It's just a situation where East Brunswick is outmatched, not heart-wise, but size-wise and strength-wise, and Edison just took it to him. Edison didn't get very fancy today. You got to have the feeling that if they chose to open it up more, perhaps they could have. But the Bears played a spirited game, and it's going to be tough. To be honest, I think it's going to be tough all year. Marcus would be the first to say it. This is an extremely young team, and if you can see development, you can take heart with people like Kilkenny coming along like he has, and a lot of others. Simonelli, Lello was a sophomore, and several others, and that experience is going to pay off for them down the road.
Yes, it will. I can easily see this team scoring a lot more points as Greg Kohlheim starts to become more comfortable.
Sure.
And he gets a lot more experience. And I can see him winning some games this year too, John.
All right, our final, once again from J. Doyle Stadium, East Brunswick 6, Edison 28. As they lose their home opener, East Brunswick falls to 0-2. Edison wins their first game of the season. They're 1-0. East Brunswick will travel October 2nd to Madison Central. So for Phil Hill and Jim Allinder, I'm John Meggiolaro saying thanks for being with us.